right, it's 4th of July, guys. We signed the Declaration of Independence. A bunch of guys got together in Philadelphia, and they wrote a letter to King George. And they said, King, you're done. We're independent now. And then King George says, and then started a war. And then the United States won the war. But this was the signing of the Declaration of Independence. It was not actually officially signed on July 4th. Actually, signed on July 2nd.
Oh,
so
wow.
2 days later, on July 4th, it was ratified by vote. But it was all signed on July 2nd. John Adams considered July 2nd to be the day when the Americans actually declared their independence. So he envisioned the celebration on July 2nd, but America decided to do it on July 4th when it was ratified by the Congress.
I will be going for my oath ceremony. I want to file for my children right after I get my certificate. My daughter will be turning 21 in January.
Are they all single?
Yeah, they're all single.
Okay. Are they all under 21 or over 21? I know the daughter's going to be 21
Yes, my twin boys will be 18 and my daughter will be 21 in January.
What you should do at this very moment is you should have an I-130, even though you're a resident and you're not a citizen yet. You should have an I-130 visa petition filed for your daughter and your 2 sons immediately, because the day you become a citizen, their ages are locked under 21. As long as you have an I-130 filed and you're a citizen prior to their 21st birthday. So get the I-130 filed now, and you know the day you swear in, your daughter's locked under 21 for life. You don't have to do anything more. The only way to find out to a 100% certainty about your immigration case is to file what's called a Freedom of Information Act request, either to USCIS if your case is with the Immigration Service, or EOIR if your case is with the immigration judge. If you file a FOIA, a few months later, the government will send you a photocopy of everything they have about you in their files, including all the applications you filed and what happened with them. And then you could flip through all the paperwork and figure out what happened with your case and what to do next. As an attorney, I do that all the time with my clients because they always come to me, they don't know what's going on with their case or whatever. And then we do a FOIA and we find out, and then we take the next steps forward.
I moved into the U.S. last year and I wanted to fight for an asylum. I had an issue with the whole Nigerian stop government when it comes to the protest.
Okay.
And I do not have much funds, and my friend said I have to file 6 months before my license expires. So I can probably,
you have to file the asylum within a year of your entry.
When to start filing, I don't really know how to go about it.
All right, so you need to show that you are part of a political group that is being persecuted and threatened in Nigeria. That you are a member of this group and you are being persecuted and threatened, and you have to tell your story. If it's a situation where you're just scared to go back to a dangerous place because the bullets are flying, that's not political asylum. Political asylum means you belong to a group, whatever that group is, and you're being persecuted. And then you tell your story, okay? And your story has to be believable. A long, detailed story about why you're being persecuted, how you became a member of this group, and what you do for this group, and why you're being persecuted. To apply for asylum, you got to make it to the border of the United States, the border of Mexico, border in Canada, or an international airport. And then there's all hoops you got to jump through to make that asylum application. If you're in a third country, escaping from the country that you want to apply for asylum from, but you can't make it to the United States, you apply as a refugee. And you have to show that you're not resettled in that country, they're not accepting you, and you need to come to the United States as a refugee. That is a whole long process to go through, and it's done through United Nations agencies. There's also parole programs if you're Haitian, Nicaraguan, Cuban, Venezuelan, or from Ukraine, that allows you to come to the United States on humanitarian parole.
When I was doing my process for coming to United States, I had to go to embassy, and there is random shooting and the tear gas that is they were throwing on the people who are protesting, and literally we could feel it, and our eyes were burned because of the tear gas.
But you had to make it to the embassy for your visa appointment.
Exactly.
Right.
I have to do the appointment. Otherwise, if it cancel or if I'm not on time, then they may deny the visa. Recently, I'm working as an advocate for immigrants and refugee and ambassador for the youth. So I'm making sure that our voice is heard, our story is told by us. So I really wanted to present there that, hey, this is us. We are like part of the community. We are human like you.
So I came to America and I'm just like, you have a girl, like you take a lot for granted. And without even knowing, because like you never know the struggle of going to bed, not having food to eat. You never know the struggle of sleeping next to my mom and holding me and not knowing that I might be, the rubber might come in and just hurt us. And then just like every night when we sleeping at 10 and my mom holding, because she was a single mom with her 5 children, holding all her children in her arm, hoping that nothing bad happened every single day. And, waking up in the morning and just hoping that today is not going to be her tent. I'm going to be burned down with her and her kids. And I came to America and told Mom I want to be a model, but it didn't start it because I just didn't feel beautiful. Until high school, 10th grade, 11th grade, started working on my self-confidence and just started reminding myself, this is something you were so passionate about before you came to America. Why you let the opinion of others stop you? And then from that point on, I did my first show. I feel like I have a message that I want to say. And for me to say that message is through pictures. I've worked with L'Oreal, amazing, company. I worked with Fenty. I worked with Annabelle.
Your dream from the refugee camp came true.
Came true.
You are the American dream coming from nothing and look at you now, right? All right, everybody, have a great, happy July 4th.